What's going on, everyone? It's the very first one. It is your boy, ManLikeWILL, here in the building, live on YouTube. You already know what it is. And I have the privilege.
That was me dropping a bomb. I don't have the soundboard, but yes, big up, Will on his YouTube debut. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Man like Joe Blackman in the building. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Mr. Blackman.
Mr. Joe.
Yes, sir.
See you Saturday, sir.
Yes, we'll be seeing, don't forget, yes, we'll be having an incredible panel for this Saturday as Mexico do take on Jamaica in the Copa America. It's going to be an incredible game. We'll be having my man right here, Manchecutioner, and CM, my man Joe Blackman, and Vibezinho. It'll be an incredible set of characters joining me to call that game. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that one. But my man Manchecutioner, what we saying? How you doing?
I'm doing well. So, of course, very excited for this tournament. I know it's perhaps not the best of time for some of the folks that might be watching it overseas. However,
Yes.
it is the lovely part about where we are in the world is we get the Euros in the morning or the afternoon, and then in the evenings we get to watch a little bit of Copa America. So a lot of tournaments, a lot of football throughout the entire summer. It's exciting. I think it's going to be a much better tournament than people realize, and I definitely want to kind of go through a little bit.
100% agreed. I think a lot of the UK men don't seem to get that. Listen, well, yeah, we would have to, wake up in the morning to watch some games, but during this time of year when we do get Copa America, or when we do get the the Gold Cup or the CONCACAF Nations League, it's sort of like a icing on the cake, you know what I mean? And for me, I just love watching football 24/7, and especially now that Copa America is around, watching Argentina, Peru, it's just going to be it's just special for me. And these guys are going to be up till 3 in the morning watching that. No, over here.
Absolutely. And I think that the special part about this Copa America too is that sometimes we do see invitations from CONCACAF to join over into the tournament itself, but I feel like this time around it really does feel like CONCACAF is fully immersed with CONMEBOL, right, to have a joint tournament.
Yes, especially after their merger. Now that they're going to be doing more tournaments together, and this is just going to be the first of many. So I can't wait for this whole party just to start. But shall we get started? Shall we get started talking about both of our respective national teams?
Most certainly. Yeah, absolutely. I do see Mr. Vibes in the comments. Shout out to Vibes.
Manlike Vibezinho, my brother. Oh, my days. So, Santi, I do want to open up with you talking about El Tri, La Selección Mexicana. It has been turbulent times for you guys. Tell me, what are your expectations going into this tournament?
Yeah, so it's right now. I definitely feel like Mexico, El Tri, as a lot of times is known, is in a transitional period. It's not the Mexico that I feel like we've seen in previous years. Even the 2022 World Cup there that we saw. Getting a little bit of feedback there.
They got to Yo-Yo in the building. El Yo-Yo, my brother. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
No, all good. I am getting some reverb though, so I don't know if the audio might be coming through again. Is it? Hold on, let me test it out. Are we able to? Nope. It sounds like it fixed itself, whatever it was.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but for some reason it was like echoing back at me. But so pretty much, I guess with this Mexico team, I don't really know what to expect. I think if they go top of their group, it will be a surprise for me. I believe they can potentially go into second, and then depending on who they face straight out of the group stages, could maybe make a run to the semifinals. But other than that, not too much more than that. I don't necessarily have highest of hopes. There was a lot of calls from the coach to take out some high-profile names, particularly no more Guillermo Ochoa. It sounds like that's the end of an era after he's
It really
been.
is. Yeah. It's not seeing him there in between the posts. It's going to be a lot to really adjust, especially for me, just being used to seeing him there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But what do you make of the new kid?
And the thing is, like the guy who is supposed to replace him, he got injured. So we're looking at our third choice goalkeeper now. That's going to be starting. No Chucky Lozano, and because he was on his way to San Diego, so he was kind of working out that move, and because of that, it sounds like the team kind of go without him for now. The other one too is Julian Araujo. So this one particularly is because he really, really wanted to focus on the preseason at Barcelona. And so, right now, pretty much our main right back is gone. So, for great reason, right? But it's definitely going to be a hurdle in the tournament over here.
No, definitely. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I agree. I think it's going to be a challenge, considering that yes, what you were outlining earlier, and with your team. But I think with that, you're going to have young players who will probably try to rise to the occasion and try to use this tournament as some form of experience. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I think you guys may try to get to quarterfinals. I don't think you can say semifinals is. I don't think you guys could try to make semis. It will be interesting if you guys did, but I don't know. From what I'm seeing from you guys' recent international friendlies, I don't really see that happening, man.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. That's why I said if depending on how the draws end up working out, right? I think that's the only thing that you could potentially get lucky and maybe draw, right? That's really the only thing. I don't particularly predict a semifinal. I'm thinking quarterfinals at best.
No, yeah, I definitely hear that. First of all, shout out to Mark N, my man. Big up to you. Okay, yeah, you may. I wonder if there's like a Simbin button. Yeah, you're gonna have to get shadow. Yeah, you're gonna be sent directly to the shadow realm just for that. But there's gonna be no Honduras talk about that. But anyway, and that's the thing. I feel with Mexico, it's similar to us. You know what I mean? The U.S. is not really going to go far either. Despite the fact that we do have decent players, it's not going to, like, our group is going to be a difficult group. Despite that, we do take on Bolivia, and we do take on Paraguay, and we do take on what is it? Uruguay as well. So it's tricky because with the U.S., you never know which team is going, like which team mentally is going to show up, and the fact that Berhalter is not, it's really capable of having these guys play a fluid style of football. And that's why I really have no faith in these guys really going too far. And I don't see why many of us Yanks feel like we're going to go far into this tournament. And I think you can maybe agree with me, Spency, that this is really Argentina's to lose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely talk a little bit onto kind of our predictions.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going actually with the maybe the dark horse pick. So we'll kind of, if you want, we can get into the actual brackets and everything. I think that'll be a good way to kind of get that going.
Definitely. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. Boom. Cool. Alrighty, so we got this right here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Copa America predictor. Outline the respective groups of this tournament. You see here, Group D, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Paraguay. Group C, Bolivia, Panama, Uruguay, and my nation of the U.S. Group B, Ecuador, the Reggae Boys, Jamaica, Mexico, Manchecutioner's team, Venezuela. And Group A, the defending champion. No, sorry. Well, I'm talking about the world champions, I should say. Argentina, Canada, Chile, and Peru. Now, shall we start?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to maybe just start from the top here. So, I think it's probably a safe bet, to say the least, to have Argentina as number one.
Yes, 100%.
Now, here's what begs the question: do we believe in Canada, or do we think Chile or Peru are going to be able to go ahead and get that second spot? That's really the main question in this group, is who is going to get that second spot.
It's basically a dogfight for second. If you think about it, Peru is essentially Chile, but with much older players. Chile's just aging, man.
Yeah, I mean, Chile is still fielding Alexis Sanchez, which tells you maybe the quality that.
Is Arturo Vidal still in the squad?
No, I don't think he is.
No? Okay.
I think he retired.
I don't know. I mean, Canada, they do have Jonathan David, Alfonso. They do have they have Fonzie. Yeah. I don't know. This is tough for me. My gut wants to go for the Maple Leafs, but I do want to see Chile kind of prosper, just because of nostalgia. I don't know. I may be moving kind of like a crackhead, but I don't know. It will be a close game, but I think it will just, for me, I think Chile, they might just maybe just some of the veterans into that team. They will, like take some of the young players and be like, hey, let's just get into the group stage, and you get out of the group stage, and they'll find a way to clinch second. It'll be very close. So I feel like Chile can maybe do it. What are you saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly true. I think for me, Canada left a lot, and I mean a lot, to be desired when they showed up to the World Cup.
Yeah,
and
that is true. Good point.
That's probably the main reason why I would have them be at third. Now, beyond that, I don't see Peru getting out of this one.
No way.
At all.
I don't
think it's ultimately between Chile and Canada. And I'm going to
That's
give
the decider. Yeah.
just maybe slightly favorite odds to Chile. Now, if Canada do go through though, then that makes it interesting in the quarterfinals.
You know what though? I feel like tomorrow's definitely gonna set the tone for how for Canada mostly. If Canada come out buzzing, then maybe we can see what they can do, and when it comes to playing Chile and Peru. But if they just not defend that well, and they just basically just park the bus and just Argentina just run all over them, then it's going to be a long day for them.
Yeah. I mean, they're as strong as their left back is. I don't think he can handle the attacking power of Argentina on his own. So, I think that'll be a good game. And like you said, it'll definitely set the tone to the level. I think confidence, because that's probably the main thing that team was lacking, in my opinion.
So then we shall say Chile then for this.
I think that's a fair assessment.
All right. And Canada will remain third, and Peru, unfortunately, will be going home. I think that makes sense. All right. Now for Group B, we have Ecuador, Jamaica, Mexico, and Venezuela. Oof. Interesting.
Yeah. and
oh my God. You know, I'm going to go out of a limb and say I think Jamaica will top the group.
Really?
I think Jamaica. The reason I'm saying because Jamaica, they do have a lot of quality, and they have pace. And Ecuador, they have a lot of controversy behind them. The squad, yes, is youthful. They have great players, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to stop Venezuela or even Mexico. Honestly, it's not going to be enough.
So you're saying Jamaica top of the group?
Yeah, I'm going Jamaica.
Okay. Well, that would be great for CONCACAF, I suppose. I guess I would say we saw that matchup last year in the Gold Cup, and Mexico went through, even with the generational shift that they've been doing. So because of that, getting that echo again.
Oh, you still hear the echo?
It just came back.
Oh man.
So,
jeez. Man, I really gotta get this sorted, man. My bad, everyone. And when it comes to the echo, I do apologize for the audio and technical difficulties. My first stream, do apologize.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's the debut stream that happens.
His brother said. You're taking the piss, you know.
So I think that was the main question that I was going to say is, do we see Caicedo and Estupiñán carry that team of Ecuador? Because that's a pretty good midfield. I don't really know who else plays for Ecuador beyond that. And so for me, my prediction was going to be Mexico first, Ecuador second. Now, you have Jamaica topping the group. What is your prediction beyond that?
if it's not if Jamaica top of the group, I was gonna go with Mexico going second.
Okay.
I was gonna say Mexico would go second for me, and then Ecuador third, and then Venezuela fourth.
Okay. I'm in agreement with you as far as Venezuela. Unless they surprise everybody, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't think it's the same quality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this going here. Let's see. So, but like we have to agree though, Santi, that or Manchecutioner. God, I'm basically revealing your identity at this point. Jesus, man.
I accidentally typed the time is now with my like normal YouTube account on UV earlier. So.
Oh my days.
For those of you who might be curious, you can go catch the United View and the what's it called? They did some sort of collab. I forgot who it was. The Muppeteers.
Really?
Muppeteers.
Let's see. Okay, so
I can agree with that. I have heard that as well, that he did see the first World Cup ever.
That would explain a lot of things why he's such a.
Uh-oh. Looks like we may have lost Will for a second.
Can you still see me?
I can see you now. You're back.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All righty. So let's do this right here. So Mexico and Jamaica, one's got to be on top, one's got to be on the bottom. Pause. So we have to decide on something. We have to decide who's going to be which way.
All right. Do you want to maybe just flip a coin or something? Do we have a coin? Rock, paper, scissors.
Fuck.
We could do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. All right, let me get this on full screen in it. Okay, ready?
Are we going rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or rock, paper, scissors? Like which way do you want to do it?
I thought that's how you usually do it.
Well, I've seen some people do rock, paper, scissors, and I've seen some people do rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay. Okay. So let's do rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Right.
And for those in the audience, you guys are VAR. Okay, so you guys can tell us that there is no shenanigans going on. Okay, so let's get this going. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes. All right. So Mexico first.
Crap. So Mexico goes first. Okay. All righty. And with that is for Group B. And now for Group C. A lot of outlets have been saying that this is essentially one of the two group of deaths for this tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to say the U.S. But again, I just don't trust Berhalter, man. I really don't.
Okay.
That guy, I don't. This is why that's why I'm advocating to bring in Southgate. You know what I mean? Gareth stateside in it. The campaign starts here, fam. UK man them, you will thank me later, innit? So
you can keep Southgate. I don't want him in Mexico. So
You want? I know who you want. You want Rafa Marquez. That's who you want as manager.
Listen, I wouldn't be opposed, but in the meantime, I want him to go have a successful club career so that he can come back and maybe one day.
Fair enough.
Maybe one day.
Alrighty, let's see what we got here. I think we can both agree that Bolivia would probably finish. I don't think they play all there. It's not that entertaining. They're just there just for vibes in it. So I think they would probably be. What did you say?
It's funny because I would actually say Bolivia is kind of like the Panama of CONMEBOL, where they're just like good every once in a blue moon, but not consistent.
I would say, yeah. If every now, like it's like one of those nations that would have like their day. Every dog has their day. Teams like Trinidad, teams like Costa Rica. Well, no, actually, no, that's kind of harsh. Or like even Honduras. They would have like their days. Like years ago, they would have it. Now they're starting to get better with bringing in more like young players. But Panama, I think it's safe to say they will be third. So again, when you see CONCACAF, it's now just a mixture of youth and veteran products. It's not just an evolution. It's never just evolution. That's the thing that kind of drives me insane about CONCACAF, isn't it, Manchecutioner? And Panama is just one of those teams that just it's just interesting on how you kind of see the same players from like that you don't see more youth products coming in. And I kind of want to see that for more CONCACAF teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Panama, it's always been sort of that consistently, like always the bridesmaid, never the maid when it comes to World Cup qualifying. Definitely, I think it was the 2014 World Cup qualifiers. They were, a couple of goals away from qualifying. So I think that they're talking about the very intense rock, paper, scissors debate. For more quality content, hit the subscribe button. Many more rock, paper, scissors intense matches to come, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Many more.
Now, I think the way that you have this group lined up is completely fair with what I had predicted. I think Uruguay, they have some really good talent. People like Valverde, right? As much as I dislike him, but Darwin Noodles, they have good players. And because of that, I would probably put them at number one.
I hear that, and I do agree. I think Uruguay will more than likely top the group. Elite. Hold on, let me see.
The one thing I would say is I could potentially see Bolivia being number 3, though. I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter because only.
It really doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's put them at 3. I don't think it really matters. I was reading a few outlets or a few I guess a few reports, and there was what was it? It was the Copa America rankings, and Bolivia and Panama were ranked I think the 5th to last teams to be favorites going into this tournament. Bolivia near last, and I think maybe Bolivia can maybe do a shocker. Listen, I'm always in favor and seeing a team pull off one of those shocking runs into a tournament. Maybe Bolivia can do that. We shall see into the tournament. Man like Elite Foodie Talks, big up to you, bro. I did like that. I did see this comment here. CONCACAF has heritage, and if the USA didn't use to match fix and pay referees, then CONCACAF would evolve. Crazy straight on the US. Though I wouldn't really be surprised, because with US soccer, anything is possible. It really is, though. US soccer is a bureaucratic type of federation. They will do whatever it takes to kind of to really cleanse and make things appear beautiful for their federation, even though it is sloppy. And I'm using the term quite loosely. It's pretty crappy. So I will say that much. Now, moving on, we have the final group, and it is Group D. And it is Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Paraguay. Again, this is the other group of death, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying, Santi?
So I actually think, so for sure Brazil up top, followed by Colombia, then probably Paraguay, and then last but certainly not least would be Costa Rica. Now, the one thing I would say is there was a tweet I had shared earlier with the amount of talent with I guess all the teams in the Copa America, and how many players that they have playing in Europe.
Yes, I've seen that tweet. Yes. Yeah.
And so I think that's probably a really good context into maybe why we feel some of these teams are lined where they are. I know that, Bolivia, may have had history, may have won the cup before, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they could be in a great spot.
I agree. Yeah. And listen, we're not trying to criticize Bolivia. We're not trying to say that they're a crappy side or anything like that. We're not trying to, discredit their history or any of that matter. We're just seeing Bolivia in their current form, and how that current form will illustrate and demonstrate, I should say, into this tournament. And really, and I think you would agree with me, Santi, I don't think they're really going to go that far. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that this tournament, I guess, kind of the specific group, I think a lot of times the drawing or in the groups that you're in, it plays favorably into where you are, right? If it were any CONCACAF team in Group D, besides Costa Rica, I'm not having them get out of that group stage, no matter who you are, right? And I just think that's because Brazil and Colombia are just too strong at the moment. The way that it's set up right now, I think Uruguay has a very strong team, and I think it's fair to say that I think USA or Mexico could get second in that group. Beyond that, I don't see that changing, right? I think Group B is favorable for Mexico. I could see Ecuador topping the group. And then with Group A, I'm not going to argue with Argentina being no matter what.
Okay, I can hear the echo now. Okay. There we go. There we go. No, yes. It's going to be difficult, I would think, for them going into it. Backtracking again, kind of lost my thought over to Group D. you said Brazil on top, correct?
Yeah, so I said Brazil,
Okay.
followed by Colombia, then Paraguay.
Colombia and Paraguay. Okay, I see that as well. Nostalgia. Nostalgia tax would want me to say Costa Rica, but it's not looking good for them. It doesn't have the same players like that we've seen in the past. But yeah, I think Paraguay will probably get third. Yeah, Colombia is a shame. It's tough for me to say. Yeah, they will get second, even though they pretty much murked the United States 5-1. It's peak for men's. But yeah, we will give them second. And with that, we will go to the knockout stages of this tournament. So, beginning with this first matchup, imagine this, man. CM will be going insane for this. He'll be saying it's a long day. Yeah.
Definitely.
It'd be Argentina versus the Reggae Boys. What are we saying?
Argentina. I can't foresee them fumbling it against Jamaica. And if it, I mean, you never know. Argentina did lose to Saudi Arabia in the World Cup, so I mean,
they did.
Something could happen. But I think when you get into the knockout stages of the tournament, the likelihood of a shock becomes a little bit less so, because the teams are kind of already getting into that rhythm, into that form. So
yeah. Exactly. No. Okay. Vibes. This is why, fam. This is why you're gonna be on the stream on Saturday, fam. We need this, yeah. But anyway, digressing a bit. No, yeah. Well, yes, anything can happen in this environment, yeah. But it's really, for me, Argentina. I don't really see them losing this either. I think it's, like I said before at the start of this stream, is theirs to lose. So for that, I will give this over to Argentina. I'm sorry, Jamaica, but yeah, Argentina will get this W. So now this is going to be an interesting matchup, Santi. What you saying?
Yeah, and this is why I said it could be. I guess if we went back to the group stages, right, and then for whatever reason Canada went through, it would be a Mexico versus Canada. That's the only scenario I see Mexico making it into the semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that would be my take on it. The last time Mexico and Chile played, it was not nice. It was an absolute beatdown. 7-1. Anyway, so
and it was a glorious. It was a glorious time.
I loved every minute. A terrible day. I don't recall what happened.
Of course you don't. Yeah. You need to hear a few sad mariachis going like, lo siento, lo siento.
Exactly. So with this one, I could see there being maybe a mental block, and so if the players can overcome maybe that last mental block from it, then I think it'll be a good game. But I'm favoring Chile over Mexico ever so slightly. I'm not confident about this matchup at all.
I think it's going to be a close match. I will go out of a limb and I will honestly give this over to Mexico because it's going to be very close. It's going to be one of those games where whose defense is going to crack first. I mean, whose defense is going to be the worst?
Yeah.
And really, that's all there is to it. And I think you guys, despite having your issues with transitions, I think you guys could be able to snatch a W. But it's going to be very tight margins.
That's fair. Completely fair assessment.
So with that, we move on to the next game, which this will be a classic right here. It will be Uruguay versus Colombia. Oof.
I would say by far the best game out of the quarterfinals in terms of
I agree.
Quality versus quality.
Yes.
I think that Uruguay's team is, and I'm going to say it here, I'm going to say it now, and it might be a little bit of a shocker. I think they're winning the tournament.
You're saying Uruguay is going to win the tournament?
Uruguay is winning the Copa America.
That's a fair. I mean, it's not a a crackhead assessment. I respect it because they're my favorites as well.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, they are. Because if you think about it, Uruguay, they do have like a depth team compared to Colombia, compared to teams like Bolivia, compared to teams like Chile. They really do. The only ones that can really match up to them, obviously, is going to be Brazil and Argentina. But aside from that, Uruguay definitely have a very good chance. And I know MLS tax, but Suarez, he still got it. Hitting a link up with Darwin Nunez, I think it's going to be interesting. Valverde, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the world. How he controls the midfield is just quintessential. So it's going to be a very, very good tournament for Uruguay, in my opinion. So I definitely hear you on that. So
yeah, I mean, the thing too, I think with Uruguay is that they have a lot of players that maybe go under the radar a little bit, right? But they have depth. So you have, you mentioned, Suarez, Darwin Nunez, Valverde, Bentancur, Ugarte,
yes,
Araujo. Like there's a team, and so I don't know who their goalkeeper is, and I think that could potentially be their Achilles heel. But beyond that, I think they have a very good team.
Definitely.
Colombia, of course, has Luis Diaz, and I don't.
They I don't know if Duvan. I don't know if. Oh, thank you, Yo-Yo. Musalera. Shout out to Yo-Yo in the comments. I don't know if Duvan Zapata. I don't know if he got called up, but even if he did, that would have been interesting. But when I look at that Colombian game, right, or the recent friendlies, they are still good. They can still play good. They still play electric football. But what really ties up Colombia, I think, is just going to be that aging defense. That defense is shambolic. I mean, it's not as good as you think. Here, let me just pull this up for you. I'm going to illustrate how shambolic this is.
Okay, I'm curious about it, and thank you, Yo-Yo, for pointing out who the Uruguay goalkeeper was, because I did not know that.
Let me see here. All righty, I'm going to put this over here. Okay, and then we will share. Okay. The fact that these brothers have Davinson Sanchez in the back, okay, and the fact that we couldn't, and also side note, the fact that we still couldn't beat these guys with Davinson Sanchez in the back is crazy. But this brother is also a scrub. His touch
Man like
on the
Lukumi.
ball is terrible. You know what I mean? Like this brother makes Mustafi look like Puyol, fam. It's insane. And that's where I think Colombia may have a bit of a problem. And Uruguay, with that attack, are going to eat them alive. So with that, I think we're both gonna go with Uruguay with this. And the final one, Brazil versus Los Gringos, the U.S.
I will let you call that as the USA fan. I think I would rather you lead into that one.
Who the fuck am I? Who am I kidding? I can't even do it with a straight face.
Brazil.
I gotta go with Jaga Bonita FC, bro. Come on.
That's certainly true. It's funny. We all the left-handed side teams we picked, but those are the predictions. I stand by it.
Oh my days. Let's see.
Okay, so maybe Uruguay's keeper might be a little bit prone to a mistake or two. I've never heard of this guy.
Looks like Brazil doesn't play for anymore, but it's Russia who plays for Inter for the national level. Brazil. Okay, well, either way, Uruguay will cook Colombia more than likely. So I do appreciate the on-course reporting, Yo-Yo, my brother. Yes, sir. And now, this is when things get dicey. Argentina versus Mexico. I'm gonna let you call this one, my friend.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just go ahead and put Argentina down. I'm sorry.
No poder, no poder.
Just we've seen it in the World Cup. Historically, it's just never been a good matchup for us. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they've only probably gotten better since the World Cup. So because they have man like Garnacho and they have like other outlets now. So coming through. So yeah.
It's gonna be a long day for them. Dybala, I think they're gonna call that Lautaro. It's bad. It's gonna be a long day. I wonder how. I know the Menden's probably gonna cook me for this, but you would think a player like Enzo Fernandez, you want to think, right? How would he be able to perform in this tournament? And then on the eyes of Chelsea fans, they're going to be having their eyes specifically on him because this tournament will have to give him confidence going into the Premier League next season.
Yeah, I think that the thing about sometimes international breaks or international tournaments is that you get to be surrounded by such a different crop of players. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is the worst player, but I think it's very beneficial for him to have experienced and leaders like Messi. You're going to have a totally different crop of players than Chelsea. I think Chelsea is just a product of having too many young players that don't have that experience yet. There's no clear leadership, right? They're sitting there fighting over penalties, trying to figure out who is going to take credit over that. So I think that dynamic is just not a good environment really for any young player. And so I think we're going to see a completely different Enzo Fernandez than we do in the Premier League, and I think it's going to piss Chelsea fans off, and I'm here for it.
We will be there. We will be there. Bun Chelsea on all platforms. And no, I completely agree with that analysis. Manchecutioner. As I said, I rated. I rate Enzo. I think he is a talented player, but it's just the fact that, as you said perfectly, that it's just that there is no camaraderie that there is compared with Argentina he is feeling now than there is at Chelsea. Chelsea is just a whole different story. Again, there's a lot of egos, and not so much like they all just want to play as individuals, not compared to as a unit like there is internationally. And you can see just recently, I think in a friendly for Argentina, that Enzo just gave a fantastic pass to Messi. It was like just over when it was like a cross, and it was a fantastic pass. And he's just starting to feel himself. And that's what one of those things that a player needs, is just confidence and just be able just to feel like, yeah, he belongs into a team. But hopefully he does perform in this tournament. I would like to see that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting, right? Because, a player like Enzo, right, it's with a World Cup winning squad, potentially can come home with a Copa America. How does that bode for Chelsea, right? Because he's going to be one of the few that walks back into the dressing room with those accolades and can say, like, I've been there, I've done that. Maybe you need to sit down. So, yeah, maybe in the long run, as far as having those specific confidence and accolades, like you said.
Ooh, look at this. Man, a little yo-yo and Manchecutioner. Don't get too excited, but apparently Man United are looking at Edson Alvarez for what?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't wind me up, man. Don't wind me up.
Yo, you just activated this, brother.
I'm buying the kit immediately if that happens.
You just activated this, brother, man. Man like Joe Blackman.
No way.
To you, my man.
Breaking news.
No, wait. Romano posted it. Swear down. Hold on. Yo, send me the link. Send me the link into the chat. For anyone who is just joining us, I appreciate y'all. Welcome everyone, one and all. This is the first of many streams.
Oh, shit.
I am ManLikeWILL.
10 minutes ago. Oh shit! It's 10 minutes. Oh, here we go.
It's true.
It's not a here we go, but I'm just excited. So, yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. This is not true.
It's on Twitter. Or
no
X,
way.
I should say. I always forget that.
We have to see this. Hold on. Is this on Fabrizio's page?
Yeah.
Swear down. Okay, let me see.
It's the third post down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is on now. Apparently, where is it? Oh my days.
There it is.
Per Fabrizio Romano. El jugador de Edson Alvarez. Manchester United seriously considering to bring in a new midfielder. Almost sure in case Casemiro leaves. Understand that Mexico captain Edson Alvarez is one of the options discussed. Initially appreciated by Erik ten Hag. It's a difficult deal as West Ham considers him as a key player. Ooh. Now, Santi.
So here's the reason. I'm not just excited as a Mexico fan. I'm excited as a Manchester United fan because this guy can play both CDM and center back. So he's filling in a couple of different options, like very much kind of like he has experience playing with Martinez. Like he's a really good like ball playing both midfielder or center back, right? So he's He knows Eric Ten Hag's system. So there's a lot of reasons for me to get excited over, but I'm gonna have to try and not overgas myself because anyway.
I rated Alvarez for a minute, and when he made a move, I believe he played prior from West Ham to he played over in Dortmund, correct?
So he was at Ajax.
Oh, Ajax. There you go. Excuse me. Yes, this brother is just an electric midfielder. He is a tank. He would run rapid, and he's just what he is. He's just a tank, fam. He obviously he just can just bear slide tackle. He's very strategic with it, and he is basically, if he would be included into Manchester United, I think he would be one of the solutions into your team. Not the main solution, but alongside. And as you pointed out earlier, the versatility factor, I think, is also a plus, especially considering Ten Hag's style, which is more possession style, and just keeping the ball in it. So we shall see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on this, especially this guy. This guy's going to keep an eye on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, he could be yo-yo, and the thing is that if you go to the West Ham pages, they very much appreciate this guy. He hit the ground running in the Premier League, so he is now Premier League tested. And there's like a stat out there that's like when Edson Alvarez is not on the field, they tend to allow more goals, and the games that he's missed have been like predominantly losses. So he's very much a key player for West Ham. And anyway, but I'm gonna have to move on from this because I could.
Yeah, you're about to have a heart attack, bro. But listen, if you guys do get him, we will be getting Jimenez though.
I don't think you will. I don't think so.
Listen, for the culture in it has to be for the culture. Because we do need a striker in it.
That's fair. That's fair. It would be a good move for him. I would have to. Yeah, I'd have to stop supporting him for a good majority of the year. But I would be happy for him as a person. How about that?
Fair enough. Now, digressing a bit from all the transfer talk, because we will be doing transfer streams as well, but that's a whole different video. But back to Copa America. We've already established Argentina against Mexico. Now we got the other main event, or semi-main event, I should say. Uruguay versus Brazil. This is going to be a banger, Manchecutioner, no doubt about it. Two of the, I guess you can say, three favorites going into this tournament from CONMEBOL are going to be just colliding with each other. It's going to be a dogfight, I feel. My gut feeling is going to be, obviously, I'm going to go with Uruguay. I don't know if Brazil are going to have the camaraderie to really tackle this one. Yes, there's a lot of hype around certain players, especially Ondrick, who there's like a lot of expectations on. But I don't know. I don't think there's going to be much to really what I've seen, especially recently, from what this Brazilian team will offer. Their friendly that they had against the U.S., I don't think they really played as well. I expected a cooking, but they barely turned on the stove. So I don't know how you make of it.
Yeah. So Brazil, I think this will be probably the biggest test for them, the biggest time that they're going to figure out. Of course they have creative players, just that commodity of just the amount of options that they have, right? Think of Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Ondrick, right? There's so many creative outlets. Now, the thing for me is And speaking of Ondrej, actually, I believe, was it tomorrow that he said he was going to announce some sort of transfer news, and it was going to be the biggest transfer news of the year.
Yes, he did announce that it was going to also air on, I believe, ESPN. And he was holding up a jersey. I think it was the number 26. I think it was something along the lines of him going to Madrid, even though everyone and their grandmother knew that. Not sure what this is about. It's if like anticlimactic was like a person, I think that would be it. And so I don't know. It doesn't really seem.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I guess with Brazil, though, I think, like you said, against both the U.S. and Mexico, I expected it to be an absolute massacre. Now, it seemed to me like Brazil never really got into their full potential, like full 100% gear that you would expect to see them.
Yeah,
they did dominate in possession, but they weren't as clinical as I expected them to be. And it ultimately, with the Mexico game at least, it required a 94th minute goal to finally get that win. Now, to me, you can't do that against Uruguay. Uruguay will punish you. And
I agree.
So ultimately, because of those couple of games, and we could be wrong, but I think because of a couple of games, Uruguay is actually going to be the ones that are making it through as well.
Now, trying to play devil's advocate here, obviously supporters of I'm gonna try my best to kind of pronounce it. Yeah, of let's say Shao. One would say that maybe they're trying to take their foot off the gas a bit, trying to preserve the energy for when the actual tournament begins. Would you think that could be something that maybe kind of fit into this scenario? Because I think with Mexico, even with that were the case, I would still think Brazil should be able to beat Mexico by a 5 margin. You know what I mean? And that would be at least 4-2, maybe even 5-2, considering the amount of attackers that they have, and especially against the U.S. But the fact that they did is kind of mad. But I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, I guess to me that could be a potential sign of overconfidence, right? If you are doing that on your training matches that are leading into the tournament itself, that's a massively missed opportunity. I think, and I think Marcelo Bielsa, he spoke up about it because
I remember he did.
In the Mexico versus Uruguay game, Mexico was essentially doing an entirely full rotation of their team, trying to test and see where the levels of the rotation players were at. And he was not necessarily criticizing, but he was saying that, with that team, or really with any team, you should have those types of games where you're testing things out. You're trying to essentially figure out what is going to work. Now, to me, Brazil was playing with their starting 11. I don't think that they were necessarily testing out or rotating out, a full squad of players. So, in a sense, that team should have looked a lot more comfortable than it did.
I agree. Considering that, I believe in both their games against both our respective nations, they had the likes of Rafinha, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo as well. They had all of they had all of the top guys on there, and the fact that they won by such small, or I should say won and drew one, they just it's not adding up. The math is not mathing, and that's where and in particularly the U.S. game, where I saw Vinicius when he took a shot on goal, it was directly at Matt Turner, and I'm just like, Vinicius, we've seen better from you. You know what I mean? Rodrigo, when you take a shot on goal, I'm like, bro, you could do better. It's just that all the shots were directly at the goalkeeper, or just maybe just like a little bit off. I'm like, these guys were not on it. I just feel like they're just there just for vibes. I don't think they're really. Maybe it's just for me. I just feel like they're not taking this tournament as serious as one may think, which is kind of damning. Because when you think of past Brazilian squads, when it comes to Copa America or the World Cup, they would take it seriously. But this team is not really putting on their game face on. It doesn't look like that they're locked in, which is just unusual.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see if they do eventually get to that point. Now,
yeah, mm-hmm.
but it could be one of those things that as they're, and I don't want to say necessarily, that it's damning, but as they're getting to that point, it could be a matter of, maybe they start picking form up a little, like maybe a little too late, right? So just maybe not fully to the extent where they could be. And I think that's one of those things where if that is going to be the case, understandably, Brazilians should have a lot to be angry about, because
definitely
the ceiling that this team has is amazing. I mean, all these guys are super, super young and already winning Champions Leagues. You know what I mean? So, I think with Brazil, I think maybe not particularly for this tournament, but in the future, I think they'll be a menace.
We shall see on how the Seleção will perform in this tournament. I will obviously, and like many of us, will have their eye on them. And with that, we have to make a call. You did say Uruguay was your favorite, so I think we're both in unison for Uruguay over Brazil.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
well, you heard it here, folks. We will have Uruguay over Brazil, and it will be a very entertaining game should we get there. And let's see, we'll start with the third place match, which will be Brazil versus Mexico. I think should this happen, obviously we're living in a world for this one is a world of make believe. I think this game obviously is just taking the piss. I would think Mexico would probably want to do this. Let's see. Probably want to have more intuition to maybe win third place, to kind of have more transition to win, or getting on to the next generation and progress further. How do you feel, Santi?
I think with this game, particularly with Brazil, right? If things shape up the way that we are predicting them, the last place I want to ever be in is in front of a team who has that level of talent and that level of ceiling and just got humbled. Does that make
agree.
Sense? So
yeah, I agree to that. I do believe you sent me something through WhatsApp. I'm just trying to. Yes, I do hear it, but I hear it, but I feel even if Brazil do, let's say hypothetically they get into this, right? they'd be so demoralized. You know what I mean? They'd be like, we don't care about Copa America. We're gonna have our eyes set on one thing, and that's gonna be the World Cup in 2026. You know what I mean? We'll give it to someone else. You know what I mean? Double it and give it to the next guy. You know what I mean? We want something bigger, and pause. And that's gonna be that's something that's gonna be on their mind. Third place, we don't really care about that. Do you know what I mean? So we'll do like a full rotation, put on some of the other kids out there, and just let them have like a exhibition game against Mexico. Because that's how some of these managers really be acting like. They just don't really they just take the piss out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
at least that's how I feel.
That's the thing, though. To me, I think the opposite, right? I think what will happen is because the lead up to this tournament has been such a relaxed, just kind of vibes, just kind of doing their thing like that. They are, I guess, the moment that they lose a game, they're gonna be like, oh, hold on, you know what I mean? Like, just like they're gonna put on like that serious face and be like, yeah, this is what we can actually do, and also so that they don't go home. At least they could say they were top 3 or whatever, right? Like they were on the podium. So to me, that's what's probably going to end up happening. But I think it's going to be an absolute massacre if it plays out the way that it does this way.
I hear it. Shout out to Mark N. Let's see. If they in the third place, they have to win. Yeah. I mean, look, hey, listen, it's down to how they feel in it. For me, that's the thing. When it comes to Brazilians, the Brazilians, they do like similar to the Argentinians, they have the ego in it. You know what I mean? I just feel, for some reason, I just have this feeling that if they were in the third place, they're just not going to give one crap about it. But that's just me. But hey, if they may go into the final. We never know. But we shall see. Brazil into the final. Hey, we shall see. We shall see. Big up to you, Mark. It sucks about what happened to Mason Greenwood, but yeah. Let's see.
And here's the thing, though. It's like, Mark, the reason we're mentioning this is not necessarily because of Brazil's lack of quality by any means. They could easily be in the final. What we're saying, though, is that Uruguay's team is criminally underrated, and that team has enough of a quality to win this tournament, and that is my belief. I think, particularly, kind of like what we said in the preparations for the tournament themselves, Uruguay took this extremely seriously to the point that they thrashed Mexico. It was embarrassing for us.
In more ways than none, yeah. Crazy embarrassing.
And that's kind of why I think that Uruguay will be beating Brazil, just because in the moment Uruguay is in I don't want to say a better position because it's not the case, but I think that mentality is going to carry them.
Crap. Santi, are you able to share screen as well?
I can.
Okay. Can you bring up that thing that you were showing me earlier?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me pull it up.
So with that, while the Manchecutioner is bringing that up, let's see. We will go with Brazil. Let's see. Well, actually, we're gonna go with. Oh wait, you know what? I just realized something, Santi.
What's up?
You know how So, I just realized. So, hold on. For most of these games, no. Oh, shit, we gotta start all over. No.
Here, you could just click all the ones on the left-hand side, which is okay.
On the left-hand side?
Yeah,
Where?
because that's
Okay.
that's all the ones we picked.
Okay. Thank the Lord. I'm about to say if I'm trying to do this thing again. Only on this stream where you're gonna see this amount of tomfoolery, fam. Oh man. Okay, so we said Argentina, and we went with Y. Okay, and then we went.
Were you trying to bring up a different team?
No, because I said it said loser and it said winner. So I thought in the previous ones we were picking the loser and the winner, but we thought never mind.
No, yeah, that would be the loser of the semifinals. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For the third place, yeah. And then
So
that would be the final.
we both agree that Mexico will definitely get the win then, or will most likely, or I guess in this one.
I think it's total opposite. I think Brazil will just wipe the floor with them.
Okay.
Okay,
cool. For me, I'll be honest with you guys, those in the chat, and as well as Manchecutioner. When it comes to third place matches, anything can happen. But obviously Brazil, they don't really care. If they were in this if they were in this type of environment, I don't think they will really give a crap. And honestly, I'm not gonna really watch a third place match. I'm not really a big fan of those. Because I feel, again, it's really going to be one of those games where the managers are going to be taking the piss. So I'm going to say Mexico, just for the vibes. So we're going to have to do another round of rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So now, obviously, the rules are simple. We have to do rock, paper, scissors, and then we say shoot. And whoever's the winner, their respective team goes to the next round. Let's do this.
All right.
All right.
Ready? Yeah, I'm trying to.
Also, Santi represents Brazil, and I represent Mexico. Imagine that. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You are a paper merchant, bro. I swear down. Such a paper ass merchant, man. And with that, Brazil wins third place. And we're off to the Grand Poobah final. Argentina versus Uruguay. We have our respective favorites, and we have Argentina.
So, Will, I shared the image that you were looking for.
Oh,
you just have to bring it into the show.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the amount of Copa America titles won by each CONMEBOL country, or most South American countries. Uruguay and Argentina are tied at 15. You see Brazil have 9, and a three-horse race between Chile, Paraguay, and Peru, and obviously a tie between Colombia and Bolivia with 1. And Manchecutioner, was there a reason why you wanted to bring this to the audience's attention?
Yeah. So I guess kind of the reasoning behind it, right? It's just because both of these teams have history. Brazil, of course, has history. I just don't think it's their moment this year, and I think this graphic, just portrays the fact that we're going to see one of these two nations take their 16th Copa America title. that's kind of primarily the reason why, I was like, okay, like this is why maybe like, representative of Brazil being in third spot, just like in this tournament. But then ultimately, at the end of the day, it'll be between one of these two.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and I hear it now that you brought the data. It would be interesting to see one of either Uruguay or Argentina break the deadlock, and to finally have one that actually leads the race. You know what I mean? Having one that has the most Copa America titles. And as I said before, aside from Brazil and Argentina, Uruguay, they do have a very good squad. Many people who don't really rate as highly or kind of don't look at most often. And I think they can really do damage. They're definitely some may want to title them as a dark horse, but for me, I look at them as favorites. They are a very good team, and they will go all the way. They definitely got the power. They've got the midfield. The defense is solid. They're powered up top. Say what you will about Darwin Nunez, but a link up between him and Suarez is going to be nice. Just wait on it. Let's see.
With that said,
what is this? Brush. News is broken that Rodrigo is actually Bangladeshi and could be kicked out of the Brazil squad.
Unlike the Fabrizio Romano news earlier, I don't buy this one. Just throwing that out there.
Brush, I'm gonna need you to check your sources, because right now they're smelly. They're very smelly sources. Very smelly sources. I'm sorry, Brush. You may have to get Sinbin for this. Yeah. You know what? I'm not. Yeah. Check your sources, Brush.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it just this once.
We're going to allow this, Brush, but yeah, just because it's the first stream in it. Now, Uruguay are set to be champions, and who do you think? Now we have to do this one thing. Now, last thing. Who do you think will have the most? Who do you think will be the top goal scorer of the tournament?
Oh, now that's a question. Oh,
It'll be interesting.
Top goal scorer. I think it might be Vinicius.
You think Vinicius?
Yeah.
Let's see something. Vinicius could. What in the world? Let's see.
Yeah, and kind of some of that primarily being on the fact that if the tournament goes the way that we've predicted, then he's getting probably a hat trick on Mexico.
Nah. Vinicius, he could. This would be a good tournament for him to show more of his skills. But I think, despite him, being the golden boy to him win the Champions League, all eyes are going to be on that young kid, Ondrej. Because it's just going to be a lot. People just looking at him, being like, okay, all the hype around you, you're going to have to deliver. I'm going to be honest, man. And maybe I'm moving like a certain Singaporean Arsenal fan, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Lautaro and Toro. He may have a lot of goals, and yeah, the guy's a goal scoring machine. He's just a freak of nature, one of my favorite forwards in the world. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a player like him that can really just strike the ball like that. He's just a combination of like Can play the center forward. Can play as a lethal 9. And it just doesn't link up with him and Messi. It's just extraordinary. I'm just jealous. I really am. If only he can do that with us in the Premier League. But here we are. What is this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that would be your dream striker then.
Definitely. But instead we have Eddie and Cancelo on the bench. Imagine that. Let's see. Arsenal are linked with E.
You're the
I'm not gonna read. I feel like I want to read this, but then again, I don't, because let's see. I'm gonna do my research in it.
Okay. I see it. Yeah, if you want to read it, feel free.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Ivanka Daily. Not sure who this is. You are aware. I hate you, man. I'm sorry. And that stream. Look, it's been a killer stream, killer first stream, the first of many. I do want to thank you all so much for joining me. Those who are in the comments, thank you for engaging. Thank you for your incredible for your opinions. Those who disagree with it, hey, we all got football opinions. It's all one thing we do have in common. That's the love of the beautiful game. Shout out to my co-host right here, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the guy who does break furniture, the Manchecutioner.
Thank you for having me, and it's always a pleasure, and I'm excited to do the Copa America coverage.
Yes, sir. Wait a minute, who we have here? Oh no, that's what it was. I just seen the private chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think going off camera?
No. Anyway, subscribe, like the video, and please join us for Saturday as the Manchecutioner and I. We will return along with CM, Joe Blackman, and Vibes, as we will be doing a watch along for Mexico as they take on Jamaica in the Copa America 2024 this weekend. Thank you so much. We out.